Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Sophie's Choice, 1982, the third selection in our Forest Film Festival miniseries, Marvelous Meryl Movies, celebrating the work of one of Hollywood's most prolific film divas, Meryl Streep. Sophie's Choice was written and directed by Alan J. Pakula and stars Streep, Kevin Kline in his film debut, and Peter MacNicol. It was adapted from William Styron's 1977 National Book Award-winning novel of the same name, based on his own experiences as a young writer settling in Brooklyn with hopes of writing the great American novel. Styron wrote this book with Ursula Andress in mind to play the part of Sophie, but Pakula preferred the actress Liv Ullmann. When Streep acquired a bootleg copy of the script, she so desperately wanted the role that she pleaded with Pakula to allow her to audition for the part of Sophie. The Oscar-nominated score was provided by Marvin Hamlisch. Sophie's Choice was shot primarily in New York City, at sites including the Flatbush neighborhood, the Brooklyn Promenade, the Brooklyn Bridge, Coney Island, Prospect Park, and Rockaway Beach. Flatbush was a primarily Jewish neighborhood in Styron's day, and several Jewish delis can be seen along a local commercial street, Church Avenue. The Loew's King's Movie Theater, a prominent movie palace of the period, can be seen near Beverly Road on the area's main thoroughfare, Flatbush Avenue. The elaborate Queen Anne-style boarding house where the principal characters live overlooks Prospect Park's parade grounds and can still be seen at 101 Rugby Road. The crew painted the house a lurid pink color to conform with its description in Styron's novel. The picnic scene was filmed at the edge of a small pond in a corner of the park known as the Vale of Kashmir. The Dutch Reformed Church still stands at the corner of Flatbush and Church Avenues. Sophie's flashbacks, however, were filmed in and around Zagreb, Croatia. Pakula prepared the cast with 3 weeks of rehearsals, while also encouraging them to improvise. Sophie's Choice received generously positive reviews upon its release, with Streep receiving fine reviews, and earned $30 million on a budget of $9 million. Roger Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times gave the film 4 stars, saying that it was a fine, absorbing, wonderfully acted, heartbreaking movie whose characters become our friends. Janet Maslin of the New York Times described Streep's performance as a bravura one that casts a powerful, uninterrupted spell. Sheila Benson of the LA Times called Streep's performance incandescent. Plot summary. Sophie's Choice is set in 1947 in Brooklyn, New York, where an aspiring young Southern writer, Stingo, who represents Styron himself, has come to sample big city life and write his great novel. He moves into a rambling old boarding house where he meets Sophie, an intriguing Polish immigrant who harbors a dark secret from her past, and her volatile lover Nathan, who has a secret of his own. The 3 young people become fast friends, spending a great deal of time together as Stingo falls in love with Sophie, and Nathan grows ever more unstable. We see the lives of the 3 young friends through Stingo's eyes, and as he looks on, Sophie's and Nathan's secrets are revealed, and the audience finally learns what was Sophie's mysterious choice. Fun things about the film. The poem Streep recites is Amble Make This Bed by Emily Dickinson. Streep had to lose 20 pounds for the concentration camp scenes. She had to take extensive lessons in both Polish and German, and study with a dialect coach to master an authentic Polish accent. Streep's performance is ranked number 3 on Premiere Magazine's list of 100 greatest performances of all time. The only character in the film who is not fictitious is Rudolf Hess, the actual commandant of Auschwitz. After seeing Kevin Kline in this movie, John Cleese decided to cast him in A Fish Called Wanda. Kline is credited with his film debut in Sophie's Choice, but he actually appeared first in The Pirates of Penzance. Sophie's Choice opened first due to production problems which delayed the opening of the Pirates movie. In real life, Rudolph Hess had 5 children, but none of them were named Emmy or Iphigenia. In the film, Sophie is brought in to work in Hess's household and becomes acquainted with Hess's movie daughter, Emmy. This is merely the first time Gunther Maria Helmer played Rudolph Hess. He played the character a second time in War and Remembrance, 1988. Streep filmed the scene in which Sophie reveals her choice in only one take and refused to shoot it again, saying that as a mother she found it too painful and emotionally draining to repeat it. In 1986, during an appearance on the Oprah Winfrey Show, Streep was shown a clip of this scene and appeared visibly uncomfortable, revealing that she had never before seen it. Stingo, the writer-narrator, speaks both the first and last lines of the film. The first was, "It was 1947, 2 years after the war, when I began my journey to what my father called the Show of the North, New York. They called me Stingo, which was the nickname I was known by in those days, if I was called anything at all." And the last line he speaks was, "And so ended my voyage of discovery in a place as strange as Brooklyn. I let go of the rage and sorrow for Sophie and Nathan, and the many others who were but a few of the butchered and betrayed and martyred children of the earth. When I could finally see again, I saw the first rays of daylight reflected in the murky river. This was not Judgment Day, only morning. Morning, excellent and fair." When Sophie arrives at the concentration, she tells the German officer that she is a Catholic, and he replies, "So you believe in Christ the Redeemer? Did he not say, 'Suffer the little children to come unto me,' just before forcing Sophie to make her choice?" This is a reference to Matthew 19:14, where Jesus says, "Suffer little children and forbid them not to come unto me, for of such is the kingdom of heaven." When Sophie reveals to Stingo that her former lover Joseph was a murderer, Stingo is reminded of Hart Crane's The Harbor Dawn. This is a reference to part of Crane's epic poem, The Bridge, published in 1930. Things to look for: Sophie reciting Emily Dickinson's poem, Streep's evident weight loss in the concentration camp scenes, her fine Polish accent, the various identifiable sites in Brooklyn, Stingo's distinctive speeches, the first and last lines of the film, the German officer quoting Matthew from the Bible just before he forces Sophie to make her choice, Stingo's recollection of Hart Crane's poem, The Harbor Dawn, the Coney Island amusement park and beach scenes, and the rambling pink Victorian house in which the principal characters live. Now it's time to view Sophie's Choice. Sit back, settle down. Please remember it may take a few minutes for the film to roll. Enjoy.